Welcome to Gorilla Radio number 217. We are going to talk. This is not Mike, obviously, with me. It is Brandon. We're going to talk the girls' state finals, give a little bit of a recap, and talk about how that event went. Obviously, people are going to trying to stay warm out of the snow. Things are getting canceled, so thankfully, the snow and the cold waited a week because that would have been a disaster last year or last week. So, how's it going, Brandon?
It's going good. Just got back in the country, so I'm feeling pretty good. Except coming home to very, very cold weather.
What I guess initial thoughts on the state? Anything off the top of your head that you saw that was that jumped out to you there?
Just good wrestling. The way that it's improved over the past 2 years, the quality, the talent, the technique. It's awesome to watch these programs grow and these girls get better and better. I mean, just from state finals alone, from last year to this year, the quality, everything was exponentially better. I wasn't there in person. I watched most of it online. I don't know how many, every mat going at the same time, and stuff, and then watched the finals from home. But I saw a lot of good wrestling. I saw a lot of good matches, and not just closer scores, but girls kind of knowing more of the situation of the match. Girls knowing, hey, I got to go get this takedown, and doing that. Better fighting off the back, especially in that 235-pound championship. That was incredible. That was, yeah. If you missed watching that match, you missed something that was very special to see. Especially, I mean, it doesn't matter boys or girls. Someone in those upper weights staying off their back that long, you don't see that often. So yeah, I just think the wrestling was better. We crowned a couple more 4-timers, and they dominated their way through the tournament. We had some other underclassmen make a name for themselves. So yeah, we'll go through these weight classes, talk about some of the good upsets, some people that impressed, and we'll talk about some of the finals matches and some stuff that really stuck out.
Okay, so yeah, definitely you can tell that the depth is there, the quality is getting there. And even on the boys' side, you see we have some very elite level kids that are just dominating people at times. But it's interesting to see, and I've said this a couple times, that the growth of the girls, the sport, the girls' side, just firsthand, and seeing just how it's gone from a lot of headlocks to technique, and some very, very, very talented girls that are out there, and some girls that are nationally ranked and stuff. So let's pull up the brackets for 100 pounds. That should be better there. So Caitlin Foudy, Caitlin, she has a twin sister, Kaylin, ends up winning 5-3 over Leah Brown of Center Grove. And good weight class, a lot of young wrestlers. Foudy's only a sophomore. Brown was a senior, but there's some young wrestlers in there. A lot of decisions in this, from the quarterfinals on.
Yeah, 100 was a great weight class this year. With our state and the way things go with draws. I mean, and Claire May losing at the regionals last week, that put Foudy and May in the quarterfinals. It was a great match. May was up 2-0, and Foudy did what she had to do to win her matches. She was very technical with ones that she knew was going to be close, and just found a way to win. And she wrestled. From what I'm hearing, she's had a torn ACL most of the season. So seeing her get that, a takedown late against May for the win, and then doing it again in the finals over Brown. That just showed a good sound wrestling and just knowing what you had to do. Um, Elsewhere in this weight class, Floyd Central, Adeline Sisson. Is that how you say it? Sisson?
Sisson.
Sisson.
Yeah.
Outstanding tournament. Freshman comes in, not, knocks off Powers from Crown Point, then Delgado from Perry Meridian, and then has a 4-0 match with Brown and a 4-2 match loses a 4-2 match with Cantu to take fourth as a freshman, and that's through a really good weight class. So that was really good to see right there.
Yep, her dad. He had a real good post the other day about never imagining when she was born that he would get to share the sport with her and stuff, and now she's really taken it to heart, and it's pretty cool that the growth of the sport. Actually, I think it was he actually said that on the Dana and Rex show, but it was really good to hear kind of him talk about being able to having the sport, being able to share it with his daughter, which he never thought he would be able to, and definitely a cool sport to be able to do that. So 105, that was unfortunately we did not get the finals match we were kind of hoping for, but that's kind of a crazy, interesting, turn of events. So I'll let you talk a little bit about what happened there.
So I'm not totally sure because during that match I was leaving my office and coming home, and then I saw the result, and I went back to look. I'm not exactly sure what the injury happened. I know right before it, when they went out of bounds, Ocampo was very slow to get up. But it was kind of off camera, so I couldn't tell if something happened there. And then a little bit later, they're going, and she was still wrestling real tough. And then next thing you know, there was nothing. So I'm not exactly sure what the injury was. It really stinks. She's one hell of a wrestler.
I think it was she's had some, oh crap, I just had it on the top of my tongue, some seizure issues. And I believe that's what Dane said. So I don't know.
Yeah, that sucks. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So
because everyone was looking to see that match with her and Niebert, but there's more things to life than state titles. I hope the best for her. I hope she bounces back and is even as dominant next year as she's been so far in high school.
Yeah, definitely hope that they can figure whatever it is that's causing it, whatever it takes. That stuff's beyond my knowledge, but I just know that they said that there's been some seizure issues, and obviously they were hoping that things would be fine, and it had been for a few weeks. And so, but yeah, so Sophia Carper from Jimtown, a freshman, ends up making the finals. So that's good for her, and made the went up against a pretty tough Nybert.
And she held her. She's a scrappy freshman. She gets after out there. She's very fun to watch, Sophia Carper. Freshman, year, and then being able to wrestle, two of the best in the state at the state finals. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also in this match, it was pretty chalk, as you could say, with people that where they placed and how some of the matches went. You knew who the top ones in that weight class were.
Yeah. So 110. Elizabeth Dowdy. She's a two-time state champ. She won the girls cross country this year, so that's pretty cool. She beat Anna Marie Schuler, so a couple Southern girls in the finals. As a good weight class with a lot of really good good girls and definitely a wide open one.
Yeah, it was wide open. I mean, all these girls they're pretty equal, but Dowdy had a heck of a tournament. Um, you know, taking out, pin. She had a close match, winning 7-6 to take out number one Corporal of Eastbrook, and then, just looked dominant too in that finals match against Schuler. And Schuler's no slouch. She's a pretty good wrestler. Has some really good wins this year. Um, so yeah, and Dowdy,
Yeah,
that's
she was up
unbelievable.
6-0. Oh, in the
This year,
finals there.
yeah, winning the state finals in cross country, now in wrestling. She's heading to, Louisville for cross country and track and field.
Nice.
So amazing, amazing athlete, great program, a small school, and they crowned two state champs this season.
Yeah. So yeah, good weight class there. 115. Kendall Moe at Cathedral this time got her fourth title. She's pretty good. She's real good, and definitely left a pretty good mark on girls wrestling in the state. She qualified for semi-state in the boys once or twice. I think she might have done it twice. So she's pretty good wrestler, and you know, pretty good moment. Getting a fourth title.
Yeah. Kendall Moe had an outstanding tournament. She's had an outstanding career. She became a four-time state champ, to the IHSGW, two with IHSAA. And I'll tell you what, her 1 year at Cathedral, she looked like a different wrestler. She looked strong. She looked built. She looked more dominant. I mean, it's amazing what, just finding the right room, the right setup for you can do for a wrestler, and especially with someone that already has success. And I think she got a lot better in this past year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she's going to be able to do at the next level.
Yeah, yeah, that was she definitely had a real good year. A couple upsets. Jalen McGammon over Kinley Keffer in the first round. I thought that was a pretty big
Yeah,
upset.
McCammon had a great day. Pulls out a 5-4 win against Keffer, and then a 7-5 decision over Macy Fordyce, and then has a real close match with Mariah Morfitt of Whiteland. A solid freshman this year, getting state runner-up for Whiteland, who, if you didn't hear or see, Whiteland put on a great show this weekend, winning the team title with 99.5 points to 78.5 a crown point as runner-up.
Yeah,
So, and a lot of that was done with some underclassmen for Whiteland. So they're returning a lot of firepower
yeah,
next year.
it should be interesting. And Whiteland didn't do it with like a lot of state champions. They just did it with quantity, and then obviously I think a lot of the girls were top four, which
Yeah.
helps getting that semifinals. But they weren't doing it with like they weren't doing like the Brownsburg of last year, who had 7 state champions. So
Yeah, they put three in the finals, won two of them. Morfitt getting second, and then out of the ones they qualified, I think only two of them didn't score points. Maybe,
mhm.
So when you're putting that many placers on the podium and they all have a good quarterfinal round, that's putting you way ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. So yeah, congratulations to Mo for her fourth title. And we're going. Speaking of Whiteland in the finals and a champion, Michaela Perkins. Michaela Perkins ends up winning. Only a sophomore. She did it pretty dominating. Beat Marissa Nicholas of Rossville in the finals. So pretty high scoring match. 13
Yeah,
to 8.
that was two offensive girls that can put up points going at it, and that was a good match. Michaela Perkins, I love watching her wrestle. She's explosive. quick, and I mean, when she gets in on a shot, I mean, she's blowing through you, or you're going in the air. I mean, it looks pretty. She had a good day. Quarterfinal, wrestling a really good senior from McCutcheon out of Leah McLean. Um, and but she went through that, dominated that 19-2. A quick pin over a very good freshman out of Columbus East, Gloria Cloud. And then it was a 13-8 final. And Nicholas gave her a run at first. It was kind of close there at the beginning.
Yeah, it looked like
Nicholas had a couple takedowns in that first. And Michaela had to battle back. And once she got going on her feet, it looked really good.
Yeah, Aniston Cheshire of Terre Haute North, 4/1, then runs that to the semifinals. Pretty impressive for freshman over a senior, and then just one senior and a junior. Pretty impressive to run that through.
Yeah, another freshman making it there to the semis, and then Gloria Cloud too. I mean, she knocked off a really good freshman from Munster, Alice Gill, and then holds off a senior there, pinning her, and had to face Perkins in the semis, but still bounced back and got a fall for third. So it was two good freshmen battling out there for third and fourth.
Yeah, they definitely. You're seeing a lot of young girls that are really good here, which is good for the state and good for the, we have a real good class. It looks like the freshman and sophomore classes are pretty good, and it's going to be
I think next year. And I think next year, there's a handful of schools that have some incoming freshmen next year that they're already talking to me about, saying they're going to be good. So
125. Speaking of freshmen, Corabella Wesley, you got a little bit of slack about her being number one, pretty much pretty positive all season. She's good. She's real good.
Yeah.
From everything I've seen, and she didn't have the weight class either.
No, I mean even her, even her opening match with Rubush of Kokomo, she's been a pretty good wrestler these past couple of years. Then has to go through Foudy, knock off Red Wine and Angel Smith, who is a very good wrestler. She's went back and forth, I think, with Maya Hammond. But yeah, Wesley, she's the real deal. She's tough.
Yeah,
hands down, just dominated out there.
Yeah, and Angel Smith had a good tournament. Making the finals. She's only a junior. Maya Hammond, freshman. Red Wine is a senior. So top four, only one of them. One of them is not coming back. So pretty good weight class coming back, and definitely you're going to start seeing. I mean, I think we kind of saw it this year a little bit with some girls kind of going different weights to get away from some better competition, and you're going to kind of see that when you start seeing the level of some of these girls right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So definitely a real good freshman. Good start to her career. 130. Ava Strayer, real good sophomore, real dominating, and definitely she's got she's 2 for 2 right now, and that's going to be it's going to be hard to beat her the next couple of years.
Yeah, as of right now, I don't see anyone touching her these next 2 years. She is technically sound from first whistle till she's done with her match, and she's really good. Nationally ranked. So yeah, and in Crown Point, they did well. State runners up. Had some medalists. They have underclassmen girls too. So they're in a position. Another great program in the state that boys wise that is, they put into it the past few years, and they got a good program going up there at Crown Point, and it could turn into one of those situations, where you have one school that could dominate both.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. It is. It's kind of interesting seeing which schools have really taken the girls wrestling and to a next level. And obviously, Crown Point has the resources. They put a lot of resources into their boys program, and they're going to do the same for their girls. Obviously, Coach Strayer is very well invested in the girls program, and hopefully he continues to do that because they're doing a great job there, and especially for the like I said, they have a lot of the resources that can make that program even better. They're going to be. I think that they had a few seniors, right?
Yeah, they had a couple seniors, but they got some strong underclassmen still
Mm-hmm.
coming back.
Yeah, and then when you got a all but guaranteed champ, that helps out a lot. That build around her and the other ones that are coming up. So yeah, 2 for 2 for her. She's on her way to being the first 4-time IHSAA champion. 135. This was a pretty pretty good match in the finals. Rematch of the sectional and regional. Some good matches. Cool to see the adjustments each girl was making in the matches and trying to get through, to the finals. Two really talented seniors, I believe. Yes. Talk about Gaffar and Wilson.
Gaffar and Wilson have been battling each other. I think they're going to probably go down as one of those, when you look at on the boys' side, people that always had to battle for first and second through sectional, regional, semi-state, state. This was your kind of first vision of that for a good rivalry, going all the way from the beginning of the tournament to the last, to the state finals. So that's one of your first stories for high school wrestling for women, would be the battles that Gaffar and Wilson had.
Yeah,
it was
Wilson,
great to see.
Yeah, Gaffar won the first two, and then Wilson won at regional in the regional finals, and then obviously the one that's the most important is Under the Lights, and Gaffar got that one. But both returning state champions.
She looked really good in that finals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think from beginning to end, she was in control of that whole match there in that finals match.
Yeah, so that's a great match, great rivalry. Two returning state champs from last year, and they had to. I mean, they had to meet up. Obviously, we had a couple weight classes with some two state champs in it, and that's what's cool about seeing those girls battle with each other. So, anyone else here stick out? Obviously, this weight class, the top two are going to be gone with graduation. For next year.
Let's see. A lot more upper classmen in this. Helminski, the freshman from Hobart, losing in that, opening round. I think that's a good future for Hobart right there with her. Other than that, yeah, a lot of seniors in this weight class. But if you look at it, you had two returning state champs in this weight class. You had Ava Strayer at 130. And then at 140, you had Indiana's next 4-time state champ. Wait, no, Maddie's not done yet, right? Wait, no.
No, she only has 3.
No, 3. But another returning state champ with Maddie Marsh. So, you had 4 really good wrestlers right there within a couple weight classes, having to pick where to go. So one of the weight classes we're going to have a couple state champs.
Yep. Going up 140, as you said, Marsh, she's won her 3rd. So yeah, that's she's pretty dominating too. She won 1 with the Girls Wrestling Association and then 2 IHSA ones. So she had tough. I mean, beat a really good Kylie Benoit from Crown Point in the semifinals, and then Jaslyn Diaz Avalos in the finals. But tech fall, that's pretty. First period tech fall is pretty impressive.
Well, I mean, Yeah, look at all her matches: 2:37, 53 seconds, 41 seconds, a minute 49 tech fall. I mean, she went out there and just dominated. Nothing was close, and she made it look so easy.
Yeah,
I mean, that was just very neat to watch. Just go through that and only spend that much time on the mat.
yeah, and looks like she had some seniors that she was going up against. Shoemaker, yeah, three seat. The other three in the semifinals were all seniors, so um, definitely will be interesting to see if anyone can push her. Would love to see. You're always kind of looking for the super matches, and it's gonna be hard for her to find someone. Obviously, with the 135, a lot of the better girls graduated, so she's pretty good. It's always interesting seeing kind of where these girls will end up college wise, because I think her Strayer, a lot of those girls are pretty good wrestlers that definitely could do well in the college scene, and obviously Indiana Tech, Manchester are in state. Are there any other in-state girls programs? Am I missing any?
That
No. Or
trying
trying.
kind of has one.
Yeah,
Um, did I just see a post that they're trying to get one like at Vincennes or
yeah. Vincent's is. I know they started a boys program. I'm not 100% certain if it's girls either, though. But that is it. They're a junior college actually, which would be a good. I guess I didn't pay attention whether it was a girls program also or just boys, but that would be a very good option if for girls that want to get seen and get there. Let's see, they are. I think it's just a boys program if I'm not mistaken, but they might be going girls too. So yeah, Mark's pretty good.
Mhm.
Excited to see some of these girls on the national scene this off season. Hopefully making some world teams. That's always cool to see them be able to get to that level to make
Yeah.
world teams and
And
such.
then and else in that weight class, the sophomore Wellborn from a Faith Christian, another small school, and she had a real good year, beat some good wrestlers, and to make the podium and take sixth. That was pretty impressive. I'm excited to see what she can do over the next couple of years, improving.
Mm-hmm. So 145, Charisma Lawrence. Her dad was a state placer for Maryville. Did he win? Can't remember if he won or
Yeah,
not.
state champ,
State champ. So
same weight
father
class, 145.
father daughter state champions, which is pretty cool. She beat a good Ava Allen from Silver Creek in the finals. Really good weight class. I think a lot of these girls obviously will return. Dibberin is a sophomore. Ava Allen's a senior, and then Troutner is only a junior. So a couple of these girls return. Good weight class, and from what I gather, pretty good finals match too.
It was one of the best matches of the tournament. Um, Going at it the whole time, close. Two very strong, athletic girls battling it out. Uh, Charisma Lawrence was down 2-0 and hit a beautiful duck under with about 13 seconds left in the match to score and get the win. And I mean, it was, if you have a chance to go back and watch that last takedown, I mean, it was nice. It was good. It definitely caught Allen off guard, but she didn't give up. You saw that in a lot of these matches, like I said, with girls finding what they had to do late in the match to win, and this was one example. It was a great takedown, great match.
Yep. So first father daughter state champions in the girls and boys. That's pretty cool. Still looking for the first wrestlers that have been both the father and son or even daughter that have been ranked on IndianaMat. So we're at 17 years, so we're getting real close. So I did look back, I'm like, ooh man, is he young enough? And he wasn't, so I missed him by a couple years. But yeah, good weight class. Couple girls coming back that are pretty good. Dibberin, that's a wrestling family. Troutner, pretty good junior from Huntington North. 155. Our other had a weight class with multiple, two state champs, and then also Alexandra Bastaic uh, won her fourth title. I don't think she ever lost in Indiana. She's pretty darn good. Definitely would like to see some of these girls, obviously a couple weight classes apart, kind of hit to see see them battle, because some of these girls are such high level that it's pretty neat to see when the best wrestlers hit up.
Yeah, Bastaic, a great Indiana career, 4-time state champ. Just no one's ever really been close with her in the state. She went through this tournament, minute 24, 26 seconds, minute 39, minute 57. Great wrestler. I'm excited to see what she does after this, where she chooses to go. A lot of these girls haven't made a decision yet where they're going. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what they all do. And you had another Skinner there from Madison. She had a great career. Two losses on the year. She's always been ranked highly all 4 years of high school. Trinary from Garrett, she's going to be returning. Garrett's going to be returning, some real quality wrestlers, and also have, some incoming freshmen that's going to be really good too. So, Garrett, they're right there to, make a run next season if everything falls in place.
Yeah. Trinary was a returning champ from last year. Skinner beat her in the semifinals. She'll be back. So even with the two seniors in the finals, a lot of sophomores and juniors in that weight class. So it should be a pretty good weight class once again next year.
Yeah. And most likely a lot of these girls will be right back in that weight class, right around there. Most of these girls kind of seem to stay within the 45 or 55 weight class most of their time through the high school.
Yeah. So you don't see quite as much jumping in weight classes with the girls as you do boys.
No, you actually kind of see it go the other direction. Like, some of the guys, and some of the guys are making, jumping up 3 or 4 weight classes, and since I've been doing these rankings for however many years, and really over the past 10 years being involved with girls wrestling, you're seeing it a lot of times go the other way. They're going down 2-3 weight classes. And they're doing it, and they're getting stronger, they're getting more athletic, and they're becoming better wrestlers.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing when you see girls are coming to high school. They're usually a little bit more mature and not growing like boys are, and so now they're going the reverse, which is kind of fun to see. So 170, Annabelle Redmond, freshman from Columbus East, ends up winning. Pretty impressive. Probably not the pick of many people to come out on top, but pretty impressive for a freshman to win at 170.
Yeah, Redmond's a really good freshman. Coming into the year, I knew she was pretty good and had a chance to do this. But being a freshman coming in, at a weight class at 170, you don't know what you could get. But she had a really good day, and she definitely earned that state title. She ended up with a pin over Jada Miller from Crown Point. Jada Miller started wrestling in September.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. But I had her ranked most of the year, but not as high as obviously I probably should have. She was always on my radar, but she had some early season losses to some girls, and but to make those jumps and bounds from September, just starting to wrestle, to knocking off Robertson in the quarterfinals and Atkins in the semis, 2 really good girl wrestlers, and in dominating fashion, 9-4, 14-3. and she's only a sophomore. I think over these next 2 years we could see something really good out of her, especially being in that Crown Point room.
Yeah, that's she beat the number one girl, Eleanor Robertson, in the semi or in the quarters, and then obviously making her way to the finals. So that's pretty impressive. And obviously, you got freshmen, a couple of sophomores coming back that are pretty good. Lane Pepler from Rochester was a senior, so a lot of girls coming back here, but that's pretty impressive. Heard a lot of compliments on Columbus East. Had a real good tournament. Didn't come in obviously favorites team wise, but end up having a real good day on the mats.
Yeah, Ditz at 105, I believe, had a really good day. Gloria Cloud as a freshman, really good day. Redmond winning. Yeah, Columbus East, they graduated, some really good wrestlers last year. But they got a good program. They're going to keep building down there and keep producing some good girls.
Yeah. So, and they have a couple younger girls that are, to build around, which is always, that's the key. I think with some of these programs, they have some very good wrestlers to build around. And that's like you do in any program. If you, especially with the newness of the sport, you can get a girl out as a sophomore and she runs into the state finals. Pretty impressive like that. And, the newness of the sport, they can get those friends out and grow it pretty quickly. 190, Aaron Cobble from Harrison with the championship, all pins. Made it out of the first period one time, but good tournament for her. She beat Claire Gramlin of Lebanon in the finals.
Yeah, Aaron Cobble was dominant from beginning of the season to that last match. Undefeated season, some wins at 235 beginning of the year, settled, 190 for the season. Really good tournament. Out in there, Grambling making it to the finals. She's always been up there in the rankings. And she's one of those girls that you have to watch out for because she can beat anyone within this weight class. There's always a moment that she can bam hit a move on you, and next thing you know, you're on your back. So it's been fun watching her wrestle these past 4 years. Great way to end her career. Second place. Elsewhere in this, not a lot of younger girls, too many of them. A lot of seniors. Wrong. Alexis Goodman, freshman from New Albany, fourth place this year. She had a lot of good wins this year. So it's going to be fun to see these next 3 years with her.
Yeah. So good weight class. Obviously, Cobble having a great senior year. 235. Probably a lot of people are saying this is probably the best finals match. Aubrey Barkowiak from Attica, their first state champion, I assume in any sport, over returning state champion Rachel Adolphe. Pretty good weight class overall too, with a lot of good girls that have a lot of state experience. And Adolphe, she lost. Who'd she lose to earlier in the season? Because was it?
I think it was Aguilar.
Aguilar, okay. So
and then Bartariak beat Aguilar. So then that was 1, 2, 3 in the rankings. But yeah, I talked about at the beginning of this, and I'll talk about right now the way she fought off her back. It wasn't like she fought for 10 seconds. It was, I think, over a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And to get, I would have lasted 7 seconds in that situation. But that was so cool to see. And then being down 10-3 and turned her with ease. Once she got that half in nice and deep and got it turning, it was done, and she wins. And yeah, like I said, if you have a chance to watch her fight off her back, watch it. It doesn't matter, boys or girls. There was something to learn from that match.
Yeah, in the state finals, last match. Yeah, she was from the takedowns at the time near fall was awarded was a minute 11 seconds. So pretty impressive, down 10-3 and coming back and getting that fall. And, basically that's the only way you're going to win. And ends up, I saw a couple of highlights on there. Pretty good comeback and definitely a great win for her. The Attica, the Ramblers. So, but Rodolphe only a sophomore, so she's going to come back.
Yeah, and there's a lot of good young girls in this. Adolphe, Aguilar, Steinbacher from Columbia City, a freshman who was able to make the podium. Spradlin from Columbia City is another young one for them, a sophomore. So yeah, this weight class it should be fun to watch. Or who knows, maybe someone makes a drop down to 190. But yeah, the 235 was fun to pay attention to this year because there was a lot of good girls in the weight class and they all could beat each other.
Yeah.
So, you could hold this weight class, this same exact tournament this weekend, and it could totally switch.
Yeah.
But you're still going to get good matches no matter who's wrestling who.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's great win and just one of those matches, obviously, that are helping cement, the legacy of the girls wrestling here, and definitely one people talk about, in time, in years to come about, remember that match, and that's what's kind of cool about the whole girls wrestling and everything that goes on here. So, team wise, obviously we had Columbus, or not Columbus East, Whiteland won. I was gonna go pull that up. Whiteland won there, and Crown Point was second. Hobart was third, and Columbus East fourth. Indian Creek fifth. So real good. A lot of parity after the top two. Hobart, Columbus East, Indian Creek, Garrett. They're all within about 6 points of each other. So I think a lot of them return a lot of wrestlers, so it should be very interesting in the next year. Shoot, this doesn't have like grades.
Yeah, you should see that handful of teams back up there towards the top next year too. All those teams return some good wrestlers, and they've already been over even before it was sanctioned. Those schools were already starting to build their programs and get it going. So they got a good jump start on it, and it's showing.
Yeah, and it's interesting seeing some of the other schools. They're still having success that started with some of the early schools. Lebanon, Penn, still having success. They were some of the ones that started and had a lot of success early on. I think Lebanon won the state title early on. Penn did a few. They won like quite a few in a row. And as people start catching up, they're gonna have to make adjustments and continue to get better. But they still have a boatload of girls out for the team, which is that's where you start is having a strong a lot of girls on the team. So any other points, any other things we should talk about with the girls wrestling this year? Do you want to go over the brackets for the girls wrestling state duels real quick?
We can. I don't think I've seen them yet.
Oh, even better. Let's see.
I mean, they asked for my input.
But. So a couple teams are not there. Whiteland is wrestling at the Indiana Tech Girls Open this weekend. So
they are heading straight into the off season. They talked about it earlier in the year that they wanted to compete at the College Open up there. So that's what they're doing.
And as a reminder, I'm sure most people that are probably watching know that the girls in college wrestle freestyle. So they're going straight from folk style to freestyle. I know there's some people were talking about possibly doing freestyle in at the high school level. I mean, you can make arguments for either way. It's I think more than anything, referees would be harder to find. So Crown Point's the number 1 seed. Franklin Central's the 2 seed. 3 is Hobart, and then Mooresville's number 4. So should be pretty good. Could potentially have a region matchup in the finals. But I know the Crown Point and Hobart match was pretty close earlier in the year. So anything you see there?
With Whiteland not being in the tournament, it kind of makes it wide open. Crown Point, Franklin Central, and Hobart and Franklin County or community, they've had some really good dual teams the past couple of years. Mooresville, right up there with them. I think you're going to have a really good day of wrestling. And Logansport, I think they got a seed in there, maybe about a 6 seed.
Yeah.
They had a really good season. Once I really went in and kind of looked at some of their dual meet scores, they beat some good teams, and where they did lose, it wasn't like it was a blowout. It was close, and it was probably to someone else in this tournament. But no, that looks good. That bracket looks good. You should have some good dual meets and some really good individual matches. You're probably going to see maybe some rematches from at state.
It'll be interesting if there's any bumping of girls up or down to try to snag a win here or there. Maybe it's a couple of state placers battling it out for in a big match. So Crown Point, pretty solid dual team. Franklin Central obviously had a real good year. Also, I know they were up there pretty high in the dual rankings, so it should be a good day. I believe that is at the Finch Field House in like Fishers, Noblesville, that area. That whole area blends into each other. So hopefully they're able to get it in. I know obviously the snow and everything's starting to come in, and thankfully we'll have a week off of, like, this is an important event, but we're not gonna mess with sectionals and stuff like that. Just some conference events. So it should be a good day of wrestling there. So any other points? We will be doing a Miss Gorilla Award again. I will probably send out ballots here in the next week and go from there. I know it's a pretty cool thing for girls to get that. So only seniors only. So we'll have a couple good candidates in Mo and Barkariek. So 2 4-time champs. I think they'll probably be the favorites. So that'll be interesting to see how those how the voting shakes out there.
You meant Bastaic, not Barkariek.
Yeah, Bastaic. Yeah.
But she could be in the voting too after we go through and look. I just want to kind of end on, for one, sorry about last week. Flight changes happened. There was, like, on the way to the airport, there was like 3 wrecks, and it made a 30-minute drive take 3 hours.
Oh.
So it was a rough situation for us to be able to not make it back in time. But to go on that, IndianaMat needs help for girls wrestling. I need help with girls wrestling. I've been doing this pretty much by myself now for however many years. This year, I probably had 10 to 12 different people reach out to me with some type of info. It's hard. It's hard, especially when, we don't have the data. We don't have the analytics of how we do with boys over so many years. So I'm definitely going to miss girls out there that should have recognition, and I apologize for that. But if you go in and you look at results, you'll see that I'm putting in over 1,000 results every year by myself.
Yeah.
going through every tournament. You know, what would really help me is someone, someone from each regional giving me a hand, just finding out information and talking with me, telling me what they see, what they hear, what they know, who's going this way, who's going that way, and a lot of the information for me came from one coach, and it shows why their program is where it is right now.
Yeah.
He's involved. He's in the know. He's doing what he can for the program. And for you, if you want your program at your school to grow, you got to get involved. You can't just sit back and, oh, I wish someone would do this. I wish someone would do that. When it came for IndianaMat to start doing state rankings, it was because I had two really good badass wrestlers at Belmont,
Yes.
and I wanted it to be known because I wanted to get them to a school, and I
Yeah.
did, and I got them to a school. They both went and wrestled at Indiana Tech,
So,
but it took someone hopping in, and it took the ground floor of a handful of people to get the sport sanctioned, and now that it's there, we got to continue to grow it ourselves. So, lend a hand, send me info, reach out. And maybe, back when IndianaMat started, the way it really grew was you just had random individuals writing an article
yeah.
of some, Dingo, people like,
Yep.
and that's what really grew IndianaMat for the boys. And we can do that with the girls because we got some amazing talent, some amazing national talent. And we've had, especially over the past, decade of our boys side really exploding. We have a chance to do that with the girls. So, get involved, help me out this next season. Maybe we can get it to where we're having, regional rankings, like the boys have semi-state rankings. I try to get that going, but there's only so much time I have.
Yeah, I'd definitely be if anyone is interested in doing a regional ranking, we definitely would, love to have the help. There is some money involved, so we will, compensate you a little bit. So if you're interested, I know I had one person reach out to me. I'm gonna, talk to them a little bit more. It was a couple weeks ago, so a little bit. I mean, obviously appreciate it. We'll reach back out to them after the season and try to, get, make sure that they are a good fit for IndianaMat. I don't really have a, most of the guys have been recommended or people I've known for a long time, such as you. So, so it's kind of, I'm in a different territory of asking some people I don't know for help. So yeah, definitely. If you guys are interested, I definitely would love to do the regional rankings as we do the semi-state for. I think that helped grow the sport, and that's the main thing. I mean, even talking to Mike, he's like, we went to 30 with the boys this year, and it helps give promotion to those people that are working hard, and having success. And I'm sure you would love, if we get to the rankings go to a, if you get some semi or regional rankings, it'd make it a little bit easier to go to 20 or 24 in the rankings and give more girls.
Because I am, I'm just about there to where I could probably do, the going into sectionals like a top 20. Because even after my top 16, I still have a list of girls under that I kind of keep in order. But there's also a lot of that. It's like, oh, I don't know. I need a little more information.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely, if you guys are interested, reach out to Brandon or I. He'll forward information to me. Definitely, we'd like to continue to grow it, and it's not an easy thing because it is a smaller community right now. It'll continue to grow. I know someone just said that they would be interested in helping out. So for some odd reason, the comments aren't working today on the stream.
Yeah,
So
I didn't see
know
anything. I was
yeah.
like, is nobody watching?
Yeah, no, I was too, and I pulled it up on Facebook, and there are comments on there. So not very many, but there are comments. So I don't know why the comments are not working today, but they are. So yeah, I definitely would like to continue to expand our coverage and people that are, interested in helping out. And, even if it is a secret correspondent in random town, Indiana, that you're like, hey, sending information like, hey, this girl's pretty good. As you said, that they don't have the longevity of being, watching them through ISWA, even though ISWA stuff is growing and you are starting to see that. But even the one girl from Crown Point just started wrestling in September, and so friend to us, that's something that you're going to have to continue to watch, and it will, the depth is getting there, and it's pretty cool to see. So definitely thank you guys, everyone, for joining us tonight. Anything else you want to say before any rants? Rants or raves? Any more rants?
No, but no rants. Raves. Just to add everyone, all the state champs. Congratulations again. Congratulations to Whiteland, Mo, Bastaic. You're becoming 4-timers. It was a great year. Like I said, the improvement of the wrestling has been phenomenal, and I'm excited to see where it keeps going, because the state of Indiana, we're in a good position
Yep.
with the sport of wrestling right now, and it's so amazing to see what it took for our state to get where it is for boys and girls, and it's fun. I'm excited to still see it grow.
Yeah, it's going to continue to grow, and I think the HSA has. I know they got a lot of slack for it, and kind of slow played bringing it into the fold, and I think they did it the right way. The Girls Wrestling Association with Pat Culp and the Iron Bear and everyone else that was involved there put a good foundation for the HSA just to take over and make it a really make it add the HSA stamp of approval to it. I think that's huge, and I know some other states have kind of struggled here and there, and getting everything off the ground. And it's kind of been wonky, and I think ours has been pretty solid. And there's going to be some growing pains, but continues. I think they're going to continue to grow everything here. So with that, we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Brandon, for joining us, and we will be back Monday probably with Mike and I. So until then, we'll see you guys later.